When we're talking about classic cocktails, people envision really complicated recipes and intricate techniques. But what if I told you you can make some of the world's best drinks super easily with really easy to remember recipes? In this video, you're going to learn how to make the Corpse Reviver No. 2, a drink that's been around since the 19th century but was made famous in Harry Craddock's Savoy Cocktail Book. This cocktail is one that I find to be a beverage bridge. It's a beverage that bridges people with different palates together. Somebody that's drinking a Cosmo, the guy that likes his Sambuca after his meal, let them try a Corpse Reviver No. 2. It's also containing an ingredient that's mystery is much more maligned than its actual history. Absinthe was banned and illegal for a while due to some of its ingredients and because of patriarchy. A lot of people think absinthe is still illegal and it's going to make you trip like ibogaine or whatever they're taking nowadays. Absinthe does contain an ingredient that will make you hallucinate. If you can survive enough alcohol that could kill 4 horses. So if your blood alcohol level could get up to like 7.65, which you're dead by the time it gets up to like 1, then you'll start tripping off absinthe. So what does that mean? Don't try to hallucinate off absinthe. So what is absinthe? A lot of people think it's a liqueur. It's not a liqueur. It's a high proof and strongly flavored spirit that's very unique and luscious when it gets cold. 2 of the calling card botanicals / herbs. Is there a difference between botanicals and herbs? Somebody tell me in the comments. I don't know. Wormwood, anise. Wormwood you know and you love, even if you don't think you do. Wormwood is given the reputation of making folks trip and go crazy. But you've had wormwood before, if you've had a martini or a Manhattan, because guess what? See this word, vermouth? That translates to wormwood. Wormwood is a botanical with crazy aromatics. Anise gives you that licorice flavor that you know from Sambuca. Everybody for part of their life hates anise, but you don't, is all I can say. Even if you detest licorice, the anise flavor in cocktails is something that you gotta deal with, like grown man bars from T-Rex. Absinthe was given worldwide popularity by a brand called Pernod. Absinthe is not the only ingredient in this cocktail, and actually it's the smallest. When you're teaching young bartenders about craft cocktails, this one is so easy to teach because it teaches them consistency. And it teaches them consistency because the measurements are equal parts. You're going to use 3/4 of an ounce of the following ingredients: lemon juice, squeezed fresh about 12 minutes ago, triple sec, Cointreau, and orange liqueur. This one is fruitful mixology triple sec, made locally by members of the beverage industry and people with a background in chemistry. All natural, shelf stable, priced right. You're going to need a quinine spirit. Quinine is derived from cinchona bark, which is a Peruvian tree. This matters, I promise. The flavor in tonic water, you get that from quinine. There are many quinine spirits. Coqui Americano is a famous one. Lillet is the most world famous. My favorite is Quina Lero d'Or, from the golden age of French aperitif wines. Quinas were originally created to make quinine more palatable when giving it to soldiers in the malaria-plagued colonies. Quina Lero d'Or reflects an Alps Provence style. I love food from Provence. I love Provençal spices, and I like saying Provence. It was the first French word I could pronounce. For our base, again, this is equal parts: Highclere Castle Gin, one of the finest London dry gins you can find. If you're going to buy 1 bottle of gin, this is the bottle to buy. Heirloom botanicals, beautiful pot still production, and finished with oats for an amazingly unctuous and smooth mouthfeel, and run by some really awesome, chill people. This is a sour style cocktail. We usually go for what first? A Boston shaker, but check it out. We need something else before we get started. We need a coupe glass or a cocktail glass. And what we need to do with our coupe glass, we need to take our absinthe. I keep my absinthe in a dasher because there are many cocktails that call for just a bit. I also have it in an atomizer, which is a spray, but I really think it's important to be able to taste it in a glass. What we're going to do first is dash this in the bottom of our glass. Give that a swirl. I love that, that looks beautiful. We're now going to chill the glass down. Chilling this glass is paramount to the cocktail, so we're gonna add ice. And now, keep your eye on this thing. See that nice green color? We're gonna let that do what it do. And we're gonna do what? Add our equal parts. Let's start with our cheapest ingredient, 3/4 lemon juice, 3/4 triple sec, 3/4 quina lata d'or, or comparable quinquina or quinquina cure. And lastly, 3/4 ounces London Dry Gin. I'm using Highclere Castle, and you should too. Add our ice. Get our big side. Dump her in. Now, I told you to keep your eye on this thing right here, right? You see what's happening now? It's looshing. It gets this beautiful milky color when it cools down and water hits it. An absinthe drip pours the absinthe over sugar, and water drips slowly over a sugar cube. You end up drinking it very diluted, and it's actually a really refreshing beverage. This may seem like sacrilege, but give that another stir. Discard. All right, our glass is appropriately loosed. Now it's time to pour it up. As Zip with the Drip would say, let's get to that. The garnish. We already did the garnish. And I really think that absinthe wrench is the quintessential garnish, because a garnish should add to the look, smell, and taste of the cocktail. You saw that beautiful cream color. You know it's adding to the look here. The smell, if I'm smelling some anise, the absinthe added. Yep, let's see the taste. This thing makes me SWV weak. Like, this is one where you taste it and you just, because it literally is a perfect harmony of flavors, all done in equal parts, willed together by the brute force of shaking and elevated by the herbaceous notes of absinthe that just add a little bit of mystery throughout. If I'm going to eat a large meal, I'd love to start with a cocktail like this. This also pairs really well with raw bar. If you want to take down a seafood tower, do it with a couple of corpse revivers. Here's the move. West Hartford, Connecticut, Max Oyster Bar this Sunday. 2 corpse revivers, a seafood tower. Do that, your life will be better. I promise you, no matter how awesome it is now. The thought of revival, the thought of being born again, the thought of renewal, it's something we experience in the seasons. I won a really awesome award a few years back in my industry, Best Bartender Ever, Bartender of the Year, and I'm proud of myself. I stopped doing competitions because what's gonna happen? I can either keep this win or lose something else. But the competitions really helped me. They helped me be uncomfortable. They helped me put myself out there. They helped me practice. They helped me be nervous. I am going to revive my spirit by participating in a competition with cocktails from the Savoy Cocktail Book. And I hope this cocktail has you try something you've not tried before. Visit a place you've never been before. Talk to a family member that you're sick of, but you know you love parts of who they are. Do something that's uncomfortable today, and do it with a smile and do it with some grace. As always, I'm going to ask you to do some things. I want you to drink and eat every day with vigor and with courage. I want you to listen with empathy, and I want you to think with clarity and not be afraid when you hear something that makes you nervous. Please become a part of our dope community here. Like, share, subscribe, and as always, peace, love, and cocktails. Cheers.